You know what? I'm gonna give this one a shot. So let's talk about Bunny Girl Senpai, and how much I really enjoy this show. So, first off, we're introduced to our main character, Sakuta, who's had a pretty tough time dealing with Adolescence Syndrome, which we later find out it's regarded on the internet as just a rumor. Sakuta begins retelling his journey so far of how he met his Bunny Girl Senpai. And to start off, Sakuta is a really interesting and overall refreshing character that really stands out in the overall plot. I can really relate to this main character because he really doesn't take that many things seriously and can be so funny sometimes. Sakuta is kind of an edgy guy in a way. He can say whatever's on his mind and doesn't really care about what others think of him. But overall, he does care about those close to him, like his sister who's also gone through Adolescence Syndrome. And because of his personality and traits, this allows him to figure out and help others who are going through the syndrome. We are then introduced to Mai, who is just now going through Adolescence Syndrome herself, and experiencing people around her not acknowledging her existence and forgetting about who she is. One of the main causes of why this is happening to her is because of her senpai status of being a celebrity. This leads to the kids in her high school to not acknowledge her because most of them assume she wants to be left alone. When these supernatural events begin to affect her, the only person who does notice her is Sakuta. And throughout the first episode, we really do see how unnatural things are, with people forgetting who Mai is, and the possibility of her fading out of existence completely, even though she grew up in the public eye being a child actor. We do really start to care about her situation and how Sakuta is reacting to her condition. This ultimately creates tension in the story to not only keep the audience interested on what's going to happen to Mai, and if there is a way to stop it. Also, when the other girls come into the story, this makes the audience interested in their link to Adolescence Syndrome. I feel that the show is able to balance the connection with Sakuta and Mai, being able to see the world from both of their perspectives, such as Mai trying to hide her fears of fading out of existence while Sakuta is trying to help her. And it doesn't even just have to be Mai and Sakuta. Judging off episodes 4 through 6, new characters like Koga are able to come in and steal the spotlight with great dialogue and talent from their voice actors. But my overall thoughts on the show really haven't changed since I watched the first episode, that being that Bunny Girl Senpai has really surprised me overall. I find myself really happy after I finish an episode and anticipate what the next one will bring. This is definitely a show worth checking out, and I highly recommend giving this a chance for its different take on the genre and standout characters. Like I already stated, I love Sakuta. His banter with the characters around him is honestly so witty. His personality to me is something I can really relate to. Sakuta is a really straightforward, blunt character who really doesn't care about what others think of him, which makes him the oddity of the school, with very little friends. One of the big reasons of why Sakuta is labeled as an outcast is due to the overall atmosphere in his high school. Many people in his school conform to what others around them do and think, which leads people to notice other people who have a hard time fitting in or understanding social cues. I really do have to say that the banter and quips from Sakuta and Mai really do feel genuine and really smart, which sold me on the show's first episode. When Sakuta meets and befriends Mai, he's able to use his social status and way of thinking to help Mai figure out what's causing her problems. Their interactions with each other really do make the show even better from its already strong plot. The two of them together are able to provide some very engaging dialogue that not only expands the story, but builds the two's relationship. Mai's playfulness mixed in with Sakuta's sarcastic jabs really does create some of the best things in this series. Even when Mai isn't with Sakuta, the show doesn't struggle at all with other female characters. Since the main story only focuses on a handful of people dealing with Adolescence Syndrome, the next girl introduced into the story, Koba, really isn't just some blank slate of a character either. Koba portrays what it is really like to conform to others around her. This isn't to say that she doesn't like conforming, she actively enjoys who she is now and wants to maintain her social identity. But because of the situation she finds herself in, that being put in a situation where she has to choose to confront her feelings, or hide from them, she then becomes another victim of the syndrome. By using Koba, the show is able to portray making hard decisions and admitting your true feelings really well. During episode 6, I thought it was really realistic when Koba wanted Sakuta to share the same feeling she felt towards him. People may say that she was being selfish and doesn't really deserve him, but I believe that because she was faced with ending the fake relationship that she truly did not want to end, because Sakuta made her feel treasured and she felt like she belonged, it was only natural for her to feel like she wanted Sakuta to feel the same way towards her. Only when Koba admits to her feelings and is able to speak her mind is when she's finally able to escape the syndrome and move on, symbolizing the maturity in herself. Sakuta even listens to Koba's feelings about him, and doesn't just outright deny her. And I feel like that really does say something about his character, and that being like that, he's always going to respect your feelings and honor what you have to say. Another thing I wanted to go over more is the atmosphere of the high school where the characters go to. I'm not trying to say that the writers overglorify what high school can truly be like for some people, but I do feel it's important that one of the causing factors that leads people like Mai being affected by Adolescence Syndrome is the overall atmosphere of their school. I do feel like this benefits the story to some degree. The way the high school is presented is that it's hard to fit into a group or class when you're already labeled as something. And I do feel like that's true to some degree. Koga believes that once she's seen as a country girl bumpkin, no one will want to talk to her. She even struggles to keep the friends that she has because she believes that she has to be just like them. And even because of my celebrity label, people choose not to acknowledge her just because they feel like she wouldn't want to be bothered. Of course, in a show like this, you're bound to have some of your stereotypical high school crushes and bullies, but in a story that's already as great as it is, an amazing cast of characters, those other things really don't matter. My only worry for the show going forward is that I don't exactly know where the show is going. I mean, that's not to say that it's going anywhere. Sakuta and Mai's relationship is honestly really fun, and seeing Mai toy with Sakuta is a refreshing take on the whole boy meets girl, girl meets guy, and fall in love. The story seems to be setting up a return of Sakuta's old crush, but put in a much younger body, and we'll have to see where that goes, but from the looks of it, I'm sure the mysterious syndrome is behind it. To be quite frank, I had no idea I would like this show as much as I do now. I mean, even from the first episode of this show, I felt that the story would be one hell of a ride, and I think I'm right. I'm having such a fun time watching this show with its dramatic moments and banter. It's honestly been my favorite show this season. So, move over SAO Alicization, we're talking about a good anime this time. I'm just kidding, SAO, I really like you. You're not done with this channel yet. This show has a lot of strengths and very little weaknesses that I can name. During the first few episodes, Mai is honestly one of the most layered characters I've seen in a while, and seeing her put on a mask to try and hide the fact that she is scared of fading out of existence is truly jaw-dropping. I can't wait to see more of Sakuta going forward and helping others around him, and get him to finally go out with Mai. Oh my god. One of the show's biggest themes so far, which ties into Adolescence Syndrome, is that it's important to be your own self and not to conform to others around you just because it's what everyone else is doing. I feel that it is a great message which presents itself in each of Bunny Girl Senpai's characters, and I'm so excited moving forward in this show. I can't wait for the next episode, honestly. Episode 7 can't come soon enough. But if any of you guys are looking for an overall review of the show who somehow haven't watched it and decided to click on the video and stick till the end, I totally recommend watching this show, even though I kind of spoiled a lot of what happened in the first 6 episodes. So go check out this anime for yourself. Anyway, I'm still hoping the show will deliver even more because it's honestly been such a fun ride so far, and I just hope they don't, permanently make someone fade out of existence. I don't want to cry like I did when I watched Your Name. That was rough. Anyway, if you guys like the content that I put out on the channel, there's a lot more coming, I guess. I will probably have a Bunny Girl Senpai full review when that is over, maybe. And I'm definitely going to be working on my SAO videos. I have a couple planned, and I am actually working on a full I'm working on a Your Name film analysis because that was such a great movie and there's so much I can talk about. But that probably will not come out for maybe a month or two because I'm putting in a lot of work and I have a couple of friends that wanted to help me out with it. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the channel, please be sure to stick around. Peace.